was that? Looks like a ritual. What was Boccherini mixed up in? This car looks too classy for a forger like Boccherini. Are there sufficient reasons to believe that when the murderer attacked Boccherini, there was someone else in the house? The first possibility to be ruled out is that the car belonged to Boccherini. Let's take a look in the glove compartment. Bingo. A man's cigarette case. OB, one of the Boccherini clan? Vermont plates. Someone drove a long way. How did Boccherini encounter his murderer? How did Boccherini encounter his murderer? How did Boccherini encounter his murderer? An open bottle of whiskey. A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. Pieces of glass from the window in the hall. Pieces of glass from the window in the hall found inside the house. A pistol, fully loaded. Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from a dinner for two. Pieces of glass from the window in the hall found inside the house. A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. An open bottle of whiskey. The lamp, torn off its bracket. A door in the corridor jammed shut. It opened a door in the kitchen, locked from the inside. It opens onto the same room. A pistol, fully loaded. I'd say Boccherini was drinking in the dining room when his assailant burst in through the window. Boccherini pulled his gun, but the murderer disarmed him before he could shoot. Where did the torture begin? Two pools of blood, one on either side of the dining room table. A broken table, scratched and covered in blood. A blood-stained wristwatch with the glass broken and the strap fastened. A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from a dinner for two. A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. Two pools of blood, one on either side of the dining room table. Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware. A broken whiskey glass. A blood-stained wristwatch with a glass broken table, scratched and cut. Bloodstains show that the murderer began to torture Boccherini on the dining table itself. That was where his hands were torn off. As a result, his wristwatch fell to the ground. How did the body reach its current position? The trail of blood from the dining room to the hall. The lamp, torn off its brackets and blocking the stairs. A door in the corridor jammed shut. A teaspoon stained with blood and some kind of sticky liquid. A sick altar of human flesh. Some kind of symbol dropped. A teaspoon stained with blood. A door in the corridor. The lamp, torn off its brackets and blocked. Boccherini, already minus hands, was dragged into the hall, where the murderer used the brackets of the lamp to complete his macabre diorama. The initials OB on a cigarette case. 1. It has Vermont plates. 2. It's too luxurious for a criminal of his standing. 3. The initials on the cigarette case don't match his name. The next possibility that needs to be ruled out is that the car was stolen. There should be evidence that there was someone else in the house. Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from it. The dirty dishes and glasses prove that Boccherini ate lasagna with one other person. Was Boccherini's guest still in the house when the murderer showed up? What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back. A broken whiskey glass found in the dining. A door in the kitchen locked from the inside. A door in the corridor jammed shut. A door in the kitchen locked from. A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. What looks like the bottom of a broken glass. Seems clear that Boccherini and his guest were drinking when the murderer took them by surprise. The real question is, what happened to the witness? Did they escape? Did the murderer take them? Or are they still in the house? A door in the corridor jammed shut. A door in the kitchen locked from the. One locked door could be a coincidence, but 2 locked doors which open onto the same room can't be. Either I'm completely wrong, or the witness is in that room. But I need Milton to open one of those doors. Maybe the body parts can shed some light on the motive. Boccherini's teeth were all pulled out. The murderer tore Boccherini's hands off. A teaspoon stained with blood. A sick altar of human flesh. Some kind of symbol drawn in blood. Boccherini's teeth were all pulled out. A sick altar of human flesh. Some kind of symbol drawn in blood. The murderer tore Boccherini's hands off. Hands ripped off, teeth torn out. I guess I'll have to rule out criminal intent or a personal angle. Boccherini's eyes still haven't shown up. What if I look for whatever was used to remove them? A teaspoon stained with blood and some mixture of sticky liquid and blood can only mean one thing. The spoon was used to remove Boccherini's eyes. The mutilations and the disappearance of his eyes suggest 2 possible motives. Psychopathy or cultist fanaticism. Which is it? Some kind of symbol drawn a sick altar of human flesh. Although I don't know the origin of the symbol in the bathroom and the altar of flesh and teeth, I'd say the motive was some kind of occult religion. The big question is, who did it?
Mr. Ness, can you open the door for me?
It was open. Why did you ring?
I thought I should use the doorbell so I wouldn't startle you.
I didn't notice there was a doorbell.
Says the man Milton had left in charge of an important investigation. So, what can you tell me to restore my faith in you as a detective?
What is that?
Not a good start. It's a camera, so Alphonse can see all this.
All right. Follow me. Boccherini had company for dinner. Someone from Vermont with the initials OB. Someone whose social status was a lot higher, but who was on the same side of the law. He served lasagna, and after clearing away the dishes, they opened a bottle of whiskey in the dining room. That was when the murderer burst in on them, coming through the window which he broke with his own body weight. Boccherini, or maybe his guest, pulled a gun, but it was a waste of time. The murderer was so fast he was disarmed before he could fire. He focused his attention on Boccherini, totally ignoring the guest, and lifted him up into the air. He then threw him against the dining room table so hard that one of the glasses of whiskey was embedded in Boccherini's back. He span around, clawing at the table, and immediately afterwards the murderer ripped off his hands. I have no idea how he did it, but all the evidence suggests he just pulled. Blood sprayed everywhere. The wristwatch fell to the ground. He dragged him through the corridor into the hall. He tore down the lamp, hung him from the brackets, and stabbed steel rods through his body. He skewered him on the iron bars, possibly taken from the fence outside, and pulled out his teeth one by one. Finally, he scooped out his eyes with a teaspoon. Boccherini must have been dead when the murderer went to the bathroom with his hands in his teeth. There, he arranged them to make an altar, weaving the fingers together and placing the teeth inside. Next, he painted something on the wall in blood, a symbol which I don't recognize, but which could have some kind of ritualistic significance. When he'd finished his artwork, he left. I don't know what he did with the eyes.
You're telling me that someone did all this armed with a teaspoon?
More or less.
And you worked all this out on your own-some, just by looking?
More or less.
I don't know which of the two of you scares me more. Wait a second. What about the guest?
Right. Come with me. Nothing.
Turns out Mr. Untouchable isn't infallible. But you were close. Congratulations.
This must be Boccherini's office. Let's take a quick look around.
All yours.
Why'd you go to jail?
For murder, but...
You didn't do it, of course.
Of course I did it. But I didn't intend to.
You're at a crime scene, and you sit down to read?
Titus Andronicus. One of the actors on the Hindenburg lent it to me. They're performing it soon. You couldn't ask for more appropriate reading material. Murder, mutilation, torture. Shakespeare's got it all.
We've lost the only lead we had to help us find Sophia Capone.
You think Boccherini's murder could be related?
Maybe. It's hard to say. Jesus, there's at least $1 million here.
Mm-hmm. Boccherini's?
I'd be surprised. Probably his guests, and I doubt it was to pay Boccherini for his services. None of his forgeries are worth that much. Carlo, I have the goods for OB, but I have to take the children to school tomorrow and I can't make the meetup. Friday, same time, same place. It's signed NI.
Mm-hmm. These initials are getting to be a pain in the ass, right?
I have to take the kids to school tomorrow. I don't think this is some loving divorced daddy, Milton.
I take back what I just said.
The driver's license of one John Martinson and Osmond Burke. OB.
Do we know him?
The eldest son of the richest family in Vermont, convicted rapist. He was arrested thanks to the testimony of his father, who wound up disinheriting him. He escaped from prison last week. He broke into the family home and slit the throats of all his relatives one by one, opened the safe and got away with a fortune.
They don't make jails like they used to. All starting to add up, isn't it?
Out of my way! Ow! Ow!
Milton! Milton!
You're doing fine on your own, Mr. Lewis. I believe in you.
Get out!
coming back?
Him! The monster!
The guy who killed Boccherini?
He was a monster! Oh, get your hands off me, Negro!
What was he like? Describe him for me.
He was a monster. Red and black. I mean, his head reached the ceiling. He tore off his hands with his claws! It was a monster! A monster!
Should I hit him again?
You're Osmond Burke, right?
Yes.
Good. Now pay attention, Burke, because I have a question for you. Who wrote this note?
Nikolai Ivankov.
Rings a bell.
One of Capone's right-hand men 20 years ago. What does this stuff about kids mean?
I don't know.
Calm down, Burke. You were going to meet up with him, right?
Yes, at the docks, berth 42, right next to where the Alligator 3 is moored.
So what's the meetup time?
Tomorrow at noon. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? No, it's going to be tonight. Don't get too comfortable. We'll be there in no time. There are certain types of people I don't allow in my diner. But today, I have no choice but to make an exception.
I'm afraid not, Mr. Ness. I have to take him to Alphonse.
Out of the question. I know his temper. He'll beat him to a pulp.
Listen, if the missing girl was your granddaughter, you wouldn't forgive me if I didn't let you see the only suspect who could lead us to her.
Okay.
Shucks.
What?
I thought that bloodbath would cover up the smell of stale grease. I was wrong.
Elliot?
Ah, Delphine.
Oh, thank God you're here. The lights were off, so I thought that... I'm sorry. I got out of the hospital late, then I went to the station to pick up Jim's check, and when they told me... I'm scared.
Of what?
What are you drinking?
It's only juice. Juice and nothing else.
Breathe on me. You heard me. I'm sorry. It hasn't been a good day.
What's happened?
No! You knew!
Knew about what?
What's that gun doing there?
A guy I know is having trouble with a two-bit mafioso. He asked me to go with him, just in case. I didn't have to get it out.
Well, don't. Don't start taking on the Mafia. Not now. You really don't know?
No, I don't know. And if you keep up the guessing games, I'll never know.
He's back.
Who?
Him. I don't know why it still surprises me, but it's incredible that you were such a good detective, and yet you've never been able to understand people. Capone got out of jail.
Where'd you hear that?
Chief Jenkins.
Chief Jenkins? The same guy who said he was going to clean up Santa Esperanza, right? In that case, you can rest assured Capone just put on his striped pajamas, and in 4 minutes' time, he'll be snoring in his cell.
Elliot, what if it's true? If he's out, what's the first thing he's going to do? Who does he hate more than anyone?
He spent almost 20 years in jail. Capone's an old man. If he gets out, at most he's going to challenge me to a race to the nearest park bench.
Please, Elliot, don't joke. You're the only part of Jim's life that I have left. If you put yourself in danger, I'm fine. Thanks.
My hand? Just because I didn't use the gun doesn't mean we didn't run into problems. But nothing I couldn't handle.
What's going on, Elliot? We're closed.
Can you wait outside for a couple of minutes, Milton?
Sure, of course. Although, I'm sorry to say, but we're short on time.
Elliot.
Come in, Milton, come in. Delphine, I'll tell you later. Now...
You said you'd never treat me like that again. I'm glad I could confirm that you're okay.
No, and it's none of your business.
Sorry to butt in. I've brought your rapist costume for the party. Seriously, you're not...
No, she's the wife of a friend who died in the line of duty, Jim Dockers.
Alphonse told me about him.
Your Alphonse killed him.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Ness. Although he's not the same man he was. Anyway, isn't the deal with marriage until death do us part?
It's not that simple. There are other factors. Dockers was my best friend. I couldn't do that to him, not even now he's dead.
Right. So you like her, but you don't have the nerve.
Oh yeah? What would you do?
Women have never been one of my priorities.
I'm sorry?
Forget it. Shit. You screwed Alphonse good, didn't you?
I don't think he holds it against me, this far down the line. He's a new man now, right?
Did you enjoy it?
Yes. I think it was the happiest day of my life. That bastard deserved it.
Maybe it was. Because based on what I've seen, from that day on it went downhill. Did they find those kids?
No. How do I look?
Like the invisible man in the movie. No one's gonna buy it.
Take it easy. Everything's going to work out fine.
So, everything's gonna work out fine, huh? You sure it's here?
Relax. It's just a little further. Just follow me.
This plan is suicidal. We're gonna die.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. And may I ask why?
It's not the first time I've done a job like this. And I never was any good at getting killed.
There's a first time for everything, my friend.
Milton, if you go on contradicting me, you're not going to get into your role. Don't forget, while we're here, you're supposed to be at my beck and call.
While we're here.
Hear that? Not bad.
A white boy who likes the blues. What's next? You gonna let the black man vote?
Hey, you. Where do you think you're going?
Hello, friend. I've come to speak with Nikolai Ivankov. Can you help me?
I'm sorry, pal. The Mummy Repair Center is over on the other side.
Well, we tried being polite.
Kick him in the balls, honey.
It'd be my pleasure, Sweetie Chops.
Dakota.
Yeah, my pleasure, Miss Dakota.
Listen, friend, I've had to freeze my ass off on guard duty myself. Let me and my man pass, and you can carry on warming yourself up.
The other option is for us to warm him up ourselves, Mr. Burke.
Ah, you got one of those uppity Negroes, I see.
If he's like that with me, think what he'd do with you.
What the fuck? Who the hell do you think you are?
I'm Osmond Burke, and I have an appointment with your boss.
You're Burke. Why didn't you say so before? Come on in.
What is that thing?
You really want to know? Better off not asking.
It's supposed to be here.
Where's the ship?
Looking for someone?
We arranged to meet Nikolai Ivankov at berth 42, but it looks like the ship isn't moored here. Has she set sail?
It isn't moored? Maybe she's sunk to the bottom of the ocean.
You know that we punish children who behave badly, don't you? Yesterday, it was Juliet who behaved badly. Do you remember?
Uh-huh.
She hit Junior so she would finish ahead of him in the morning race. Do you know what we did to her?
Mm-mm.
Don't worry. You'll find out soon enough. Which do you prefer? The doll or the plush toy? 2 days ago, Mickey bit Tom so he could take his food. Do you know what we did with him?
Bruno says you killed him.
Bruno says many things. Which do you prefer, blonde hair or brown? And today, you tried to escape. Do you know what the difference is?
No.
Juliet and Mickey hurt their friends so that we would not punish them. You tried to escape, but you did not harm your friends. On the contrary, you tried to help Bruno, putting your own life in danger. Very few children would do that. We are going to punish you. But in a different way than Juliet and Mickey. Bruno, on the other hand, did something very similar to them. He betrayed you to avoid being punished.
I'm sorry.
Which of these two drawings do you like best?
I'm sorry.
Cold day. It's a cold day. In the beginning of the end, this rainy day, I'm waiting for some kind of sign.
protect him.
Is she here?
My father asked you to take care of me. Is this how you respect a dead man's wishes?
Screw everything I said.
He's Al Capone. He may not have much left, but he'll have something.
Life's full of little twists and turns, huh?